Three, two, one, blast off. Elana, I believe we are live.
Hi. Oh
Shalom.
boy. Shalom. I want
Good
to
evening.
share this.
Say it. You want to share this? Oh, the thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna share it also on a couple of different mediums and pages in the next 30 seconds or so, and invite
Okay.
folks to join us. But Alana, where are you this evening?
This evening I am sitting in the basement of the house that I kind of sort of grew up in Virginia on top of Allegheny Mountain, which is the border of West Virginia and Virginia, the highest mountain range in the state.
Whoa,
Yeah, I'm at 4,200 something feet.
whoa! How
That
long
means
have you how long have you been there?
I have been here since March 14th.
March 14th. Wow.
Yeah, I left really quickly after COVID started to close us all down.
Yep. Um, I'm finishing up these shares. Do you want to welcome? Shall we welcome people in song? What do you think?
That sounds lovely.
Yeah, as
Um,
people are
yeah,
arriving.
sure. You want me to start something?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I didn't think I would play this song, but it just feels right to bring you into where I am right now.
Sounds good.
So this song that I'm about to play is called "The Garden," which which is inspired by growing up here on an old homestead that was founded in the early 1900s. My parents um, were back to the lander hippies, which seems like a derogatory word these days for some reason. Um, they wanted to live on the land and grow their own food and be self-sufficient, and they were a little ahead of their times. They didn't want to have to contribute to the global warming that wasn't even a thing back then. They didn't want to have an impact and wanted to take care of themselves. So my mom and dad grew mostly all of our own food, and they're
Wow,
still
most
amazing
of all of
gardeners.
your own food?
Yeah,
Wow.
except for I think yeah, we were like subsistence farming, not commercial farming, but farming for our family. Oh my gosh, guitar is really um I'm messing up my tuning really bad right now. I'm talking at the same time. Hold on. I hope this is right. Woo! Sorry, loves out there. Please forgive.
Welcome everyone who might be arriving a moment or so into our program. We had a technical difficulty as we were beginning, but I think we solved it. Hopefully you can hear Alana loud and clear. It's a privilege to be here in tonight's episode of a rabbi and a folk artist. Um, New song, Weaver, Walk into a Zoom. We're going to begin with a song from Elana.
So this song is inspired by being raised by people who love the dirt and the peace that it brings to be out with her. Here we go. So welcome to this. I'm calling you into the place where I'm sitting right now. I'm looking at the garden out the window in front of me. Love in the jeans that she wore, holes torn in the knees, out in the garden, planting seeds. Mama said to be a man here, you better roll up your sleeves and go to the garden and pull the weeds. I found a friend in you, a friend to keep, music to listen to, wind coming through the window when I sleep. Morning and I am awoken by the call of the crows out in the garden, flocking on top of the compost. Oh, God made dirt, and dirt don't hurt. Put your grieving into the earth, let her heal ya, hold you when you weep. I found a friend in you, a friend to keep, music to listen to, and the crickets and the rustling leaves. I found a friend in you, a friend to see me out in the garden. There is peace. Dawn of the autumn is upon us. See the valley, she's turning to gold. You better go to the garden and harvest for the first snow. Ooh, raspberry canes, potatoes and thyme, pumpkins and sage and grapes on the vine out in the garden. The work's never done, but good work gives you life. I found a friend in you, a friend to keep, music to through the window as I sleep. I found a friend in you, a friend who sees me out in the garden. There is peace out in the garden. There is peace.
Whoa. Um, Thank you for that, Elana. I feel like we're in like a hybrid room of of Carol King's living room and Joni Mitchell, um, somewhere in where are you again in Virginia?
Yeah.
Yeah, in a Virginia like cottage. Um, I remember I don't know when the first time I heard your music pop across my Facebook um, thread, but I felt like it was this like Or Hadash, a new light, a new voice, um, and so soulful.
Peace.
What's with that song called? Uh-oh, are you frozen? Hello, hello.
I,
What was that song called?
that song was called The Garden.
Garden, inspired by where you are now.
Inspired by this place right here where I am. Yes. There,
And say it again.
well, I just, the line about raspberry canes and um, I can't wait till those raspberry canes are plump
Mm,
with bear. They're, they're not there yet.
I remember my grandparents used to have blueberry and raspberry bushes that we would just destroy because we would always eat them before they had fully come, before they had ripe.
Oh no.
Yeah, but they
You
were
guys were like the
delicious. We were like the deer,
deer or the
um,
bird.
the birds, right? So
We're
okay,
not discerning.
when you're not by the garden in Virginia, you're where's home for you?
So that's a great question. I've been living in Brooklyn, in Park Slope, Brooklyn, for 4.5 years. Since January of 2016, I moved to Brooklyn, and I'm going to be moving out of my spot September 1st. My friend is living there right now. Um, yeah, I'm moving out, and I'm possibly moving to Woodstock area. That's what's calling me, to be connected both to nature, um, and also the community there. There's a good friend, Rabbi
Mm,
Bite has a congregation there that I'm excited about being a part of. And also, I just have a good feeling about Woodstock for me. I don't know,
that's
maybe it's because I'm a folk.
well, you started talking about being a child of hippies, so it's only you're going full circle.
My dad was at Woodstock in
Was he?
1969.
This is the question though. How much does he remember?
He said he didn't have the brown acid.
Okay.
That's he was he just graduated high school, and
Wow.
yeah, I don't think he remembers much, sadly.
I think about I think about like what it is to graduate high school right now or graduate college or all these other life cycle moments that have to be marked right now as, people are in quarantine. I understand people, different cities are in different stages and phases of reopening in different places, but we've, it can feel like we've missed out of like a chunk of our lives in this time. But you've still been gathering online and making music. Um, can you talk a little?
I mean,
Can you talk a little bit about what that's like to make music and sing during um, such a time of spiritual unrest?
I'd love to. I honestly, I feel so graced by the 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 communities, the Jewish communities that I'm involved in, because I have been asked to sing some of my prayer music with Romamu in New York and Brooklyn, and the Kohenet community, and then Kol Hai with Shir Yaakov. And I've gotten to kind of pop in on Friday nights or Saturday mornings and sing and feel like hundreds of little box faces enjoying it and commenting. And it's like, so it's almost, for me, it's almost like, in a weird way, momentum for me doesn't feel like it's died down in this time, even though it did sort of. But for me, the creative spirit was also really awakened at this right away. Like, boom, I got here and just like immediately was jamming, immediately jammed out my, new B'Shem Hashem song. And then I was like, this song has to be shared. And so I had to get online and share it, and had to be online and make a presence known online. And as awkward in some ways as that is, it's been, and I kind of like, oh, I should do it more. I should play more concerts, regularly or something. But and then I'm hosting this weekly sing along thing, which is kind of its own animal of people coming together and singing kind of easy to sing along with songs. Very like lighthearted and very healing. And honestly, for me, oxytocin pumps out during, which is the chemical that's released when you're singing with others. Even though we're all in different Zoom boxes, I still feel that. Yeah. So
would you share some of, I don't know if it's the B'Shem Hashem or some of the prayerful tunes that you've been composing and playing around this time?
Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to share B'Shem Hashem. B'Shem. I say B'Shem. Is that the Yiddish pronunciation? B'Shem?
You got B'Shem Hashem. That's right. In the name of the name.
Yeah, I know. The name of the name. The name of the name. Sure, let's do it. Tell me how this sounds. Can you hear it?
I can hear you great. I mean, ultimately, I wish we had a professional recording studio for you, but right now we've got Zoom. But you sound great.
My microphone here. Poltergeists got it the other day. It's a story for another time. But did they got it? I don't know. Okay. Okay. Actually, you know what? I love the piano, but I'm going to play it on the guitar because that's where it, I don't know. That's where it, I retuned this guitar just a second ago. Oh, no.
That's okay.
That's another thing that professionals have. They have this guy that comes in with the other guitar that's tuned.
Obviously.
To the right. I don't know. Now I'm switching back just because this was the original, and it will feel great to play it on here. So I wrote it on this thingamabobber. So
there you go. Thanks, Elana. In the description, okay, before I had said Carole King, Joni Mitchell, I'd like to add Debbie Friedman into the mix now. Yeah, why not? So, Alice, how does it work when you write? Do you get asked to write music for congregations, or is it more collaborative? Like, how has it worked in the past?
Super sweet. I have not exactly been asked to do that. Sher Yaakov did the other day say to me, "Oh, like, do you know the Shamru, or do you have a Vishamru?" And a part of me, or a Micha Mocha, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't think about it. I should write one.
I think Base would like to commission you for like a birkat habayit or something, like a blessing on the home, a blessing on the home. I will follow up with you
That's
offline
really
on that because I don't know any melody to that. I mean, I don't even really know the words to the birkat habayit. I've seen it like hung in different,
I think there's one
like answer
upstairs.
homes. There you go. So, um, did you grow up like what was your like Jewish music intake like growing up? What was your Jewish intake like growing up?
Great question. My Jewish intake at home was mostly like Hanukkah candle time, grandparent cards and presents situation, and Passover. I think we did Passover at home, or we certainly flew to be with my grandparents for something like that, Passover. And my
Where do your grandparents live?
They lived in California when I was a kid. So my life kind of was like mostly on the farm and then the extravagant trip to the desert of California.
Gotcha. Okay, cool.
Yeah. And my mom's brother became Baal Tshuva modern Orthodox with a Chabad house in his front yard. So
the Chabad was his garden.
The Chabad was his garden, exactly. And they had 6 kids, and so we would visit them, and I would get the full yeshivish, litvish download
Gotcha.
of what like Jewish music, what Shabbat blessing over the candles looked like, what Havdalah looked like.
Can we have an impersonation of that? Or
sure.
No? Okay.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Shalom, Malachei El-Yomi, Melech Malchei Amlachim, Kadosh Baruch Hu, Hayaya Shalom Aleichem. Except for I'm making jazzy.
Yeah.
You know.
And did you sing along? Did your family sing along and know those, or you learned them then?
So my experience becoming Jewish, actually, in a way, was all of that I sang along with was like, it was that musician ear kind of thing where you're just like, oh, you're singing along, but you don't know the words. Kind of just make the sounds. So I just made the sounds, and I'm still learning the words to things that I knew since I was a kid.
Right.
Yeah. So my Jewish education didn't start until 6 years ago when I moved to Isabella Friedman for Adama Farm Fellowship.
Isabella Friedman. People should check it out. Donate. Go visit if they can. Keep Isabella around. What brought you to Adama? How did you find out about Adama?
My brother-in-law, who had a more religious upbringing and was raised in Israel for, I think, at least 6 years of his childhood, went to Adama, 20-something.
And
so when became more, I became more like Jewish by default because he was new in my life. Newly part of my life.
And so what did Adama look like? What type of imprint did that make in terms of like the Jewish download or Jewish music download?
Such a Jewish music download. So to be honest, I did have some Jewish music influence also because we did have a Reform synagogue that's like an hour and a half that way over the mountains. And so we did do high holidays there. And so I knew certain things like Shalom Karlbach V'Shamru or Debbie Friedman V'Shamru, or like I knew songs, Osei Shalom, Hine Motov, like I didn't like Jewish music, to be honest. When I
Mm-hmm.
got to Israel and I heard Kabbalat Shabbat for the very first time, I was like, this is boring. And I have to also say I came from like, yeah, just a music background, and went to Berklee College of Music for several years, where I was exposed to jazz as the
Mm-hmm.
primary education, and then a lot of world music, and a lot of, yeah, just like edgier, like R&B's, gospel style chords, like everything was, had tensions in it, and it was
Mm-hmm.
complex. So to then just go to like sing along chords in the Jewish minor stuff,
Sphere.
I was
Yeah.
I was like, wow. And it took me many years before I could sing in community without judgment, without like that weird critic coming through, because my whole system shifted in the way that I became a part of Jewish community. My whole system shifted to be like, what's important is expression. What's important is the heart. What's important is that people are singing. What's important is that there's like energy in the room, much more so than, oh, like, let's make something really cool.
Mm-hmm.
you know
Mm-hmm.
so I'm still growing actually in this way.
That's awesome. What awesome
Yeah.
awareness too around how you experience. I feel like I could work on that antenna too of when I hear like Jewish music or whatever music in general that I don't like or don't immediately relate to. Um, the challenge of like finding a nikudat tova, like a saving grace, or but also like realizing what its function ultimately is for. Um, Powerful. Um, will
Feelings.
you play another song for us?
I would love to. Um, so on that, maybe on that note, I thought I would play this song, which I haven't played in a long time because I'm not in this like rock and roll mode up here in the mountains, but
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this is more indicative like playing live in the city. But this song, um, yeah, I don't know what to say about it. This song maybe reflects on me coming from like music as like, I don't know what to say. You just enjoy the song. It's a rock and roll song. Let's go. Got a body like a cup of coffee buzzing me away. In this hotel in Chicago, what's a girl to make? I've been waiting for this moment, now the moment is here. And I can't get no sleep, cause my head's not clear. Is it real? Is it real? Is it real? But I've been holding on. Is it real? Is it real? Is it real? What I've been holding on to. Yeah, you kiss me in the morning. No, you're not afraid of the fragrance in my mouth. It's like a holy grave. But you're not here to build a fire. You're just feeling in for fun. And you'll be headed west tomorrow, like the setting sun. Is it real? Is it real? Is it real? But I've been holding on. Is it real? Is it real? Is it real? What I've been holding on to. And I won't be satisfied with just one night of touch. I'll keep on looking for the deeper light that I can finally trust. And as soon as it starts to spark, you gotta run to to keep on rocking and rocking and rolling, rocking and rocking and rolling, rocking and rocking and rolling to the setting sun. Highway driving through the desert plains, halfway to Vegas, billboards blaze your name. Oh, you've been out there for ages, vision questing for fame. And if you made it to the top, will you come down like rain? Is it real? Well, you've been holding on. Is it real? Is it real? Is it real? What I've been holding on to. And I won't be satisfied with just one night of touch. I'll keep on looking for the deeper light that I can finally trust. And as soon as it starts to spark, you gotta run to keep on rocking and rolling, rocking and rocking and rolling, rocking and rocking and rolling and rocking and rolling and rocking, rolling and rocking into the setting sun.
Whoa, rock and rollin'. Awesome. Did you play music? When did you start playing music, Elana?
My parents are musicians, and so they played all the time, and I sang along, and started writing music when I was 12 on the piano. And I went to a summer program at Berklee College of Music when I first kind of got exposed to like chords that weren't just simple triad kind of style stuff, and did that a little bit. And then my mom also really liked to go to blues camp, which I think this song is kind of of. We went to blues camp every once in a while, which actually was in a town an hour away in West Virginia. It's Augusta Heritage Festival. We have a blues week, and yeah.
So like, but like learning an instrument or anything like that, that was just, yeah, I don't know, in utero.
Yeah, totally. My first instrument was officially, I asked my mom to play the violin when I was like 7, and then probably about a year or so later, I begged to quit because it's so shrill.
Yeah.
And yeah. And then the piano, I did take lessons, I think, starting when I was 8. This wonderful teacher who went to Juilliard, and I remember learning how to play Sunrise, Sunset, and probably something from Annie, and quickly quit lessons after a year or 2 because I hated to practice, and I couldn't possibly go with being so ashamed of myself. So I decided to just write music instead.
Well,
and that's mostly how I've learned to play the piano and most all the instruments that I play.
Amazing. Amazing. You mentioned that you wrote the B'Shem Hashem piece on that keyboard you got there. And I was curious, like, what inspires you to a particular instrument for a particular song, or is it just what comes?
That's such a musician's question. To be honest with you, I this keyboard was loaned to me. I need to pay the lady for it because I've had it. I basically now
You do
it's now
actually, yes. That's why we've gathered here online. It's really for everyone to tell you that you should pay the lady. No, stop.
Jessica for her keyboard. Jessica will get it. I will do it tonight. And
Amen.
but this keyboard is was literally, sadly my keyboard was stolen from my car.
What? Stolen?
Yeah, in November, I think. I was playing at Romamu for a service, left my keyboard in the car on 105th Street, spent the night in Harlem. Next day, the keyboard was gone. So don't leave your keyboard in your car on 105th Street. Bad idea. So this keyboard was lent to me. Maybe I can't remember when my keyboard was stolen. It was maybe November, maybe later, actually. But this keyboard was lent to me. Thank God, because now I have a keyboard. But to be honest, this keyboard hasn't sung to me as if oh, you need to play me. You have to play me. But I did write that song on it, so perhaps it does have some magic to it, and I could play it more. But I feel like that's a good segue to this guitar, because the guitar has been doing that for me, because my father, this is the guitar. I almost want to cry. Sorry.
That's okay.
This is the guitar my father played when I was a kid here. And this is the campfire guitar. This is the around the wood stove. We had a wood, that's how we heated the house with the wood stove. This is the guitar. All of the folk songs I heard growing up were played on this guitar. I sort of had to beg him not to sell it. He was going to sell it this year. And
Why?
Oh, because he got himself a new guitar.
Right.
He likes to do stuff he likes to, So he gave me this guitar, and it's really been, since he gave this to me, I feel like I am a totally new songwriter, whole songwriter.
That's amazing. I have my grandfather's mandolin at home in New York. I think he got it in Shanghai. I don't know for sure, but I love playing that instrument. I wish I could play it better than I could do, but I feel connected to him when I get to play that. So special for you to bring your dad's guitar into your family living room for another song or two in our program.
Aw, it's so great to be with you, and
likewise. Amen.
Play that mandolin, and I'll play the guitar.
Amen.
Yeah, and looking forward to it. And yeah, I guess so. Okay, I'll play the song that was first born on this guitar. And I wrote this on the whole evening of Shavuos. I decided, because I was alone. What's the difference, right? I wanted to do something for the holiday, and my Torah for the evening was to become a songwriter again, and to really craft, really work, really study the craft. And I worked and worked and worked and worked until the morning came, and then the morning broke, and the birds were singing, and the sun came up. And then I went out into the garden, and I davened, Shacharit, and Hallel. Maybe I just did Hallel. I don't remember. But I did that like a total manic nut job, zippy. I guess everybody was that morning. And anyway, I'm really happy about this song, and I'm very, very excited to almost be done mixing and mastering the recording, so it's at its top quality, and I'm gonna put it on Spotify and iTunes and all that jazz. Probably next week. Anyway, here's the song. It's called To Hear Your Voice. And I should also say it was written the day after the riots in Minneapolis and inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement. And all of the feelings therein. Sure be nice to hear your voice, to talk about the headlines, the news and the noise. Most things don't go the way we like them to. We don't get that final choice. But it sure be nice to hear your voice. There's a missing person in your city that sits by the Mississippi, where white-faced eagles strike the waters, rippling violence as they're fishing. And I'm white-faced, but I'm sorry to those persons who've gone missing, gone into the hall of martyrs, long carved into our history. Sure be nice to hear your voice, to talk about the weather, our wonders and our joys. Most things don't go the way we want them to. We don't get that final choice. But it sure be nice to hear your voice. With the winter thawing and the rains, the creeks came rushing. No, there's nothing more amazing than the heart of the earth when she's gushing. And we stood over her waters, and we understood something about the way one day we all let go. Your hand in my hand, we started out running through the open field at the top of the mountain, and we fell to our backs in the grasses, laughing at the fact we are alive. And it sure be nice to hear your voice, to talk about what matters, the death of George Floyd. No, things don't go the way we want them to. We don't get that final choice. But it sure be nice to hear your voice. I will surrender to the river. I will surrender to the flow, trying to remember the life delivers us exactly where we must go. Righteous riots, they're raging in your city by the Mississippi. Folks are fed up with the fucked up, and the late night flames take down the precincts. And all of this I heard from strangers on the screens. I certainly got no word from my inside source. And I wanted bad to call you. Oh, I wanted bad to hold you. Oh, I hope your home is warm, but not filling up with smoke. Your heart is my heart. Your soul is my soul. And though we must be parted, I want you to know I will surrender to this river. I will surrender to the flow, trying to remember life delivers us exactly where we have still sure be nice to hear your voice, to talk about the past times and all the new stories. Things don't go the way we want them to. We don't get that final choice, but it sure be nice to hear your voice.
I was going to ask you to play that. I forget. I think it must have been that song, but I remember you posting something around George Floyd's death. Didn't you? You posted it shortly thereafter. Is that right? I forget.
Yeah, like 2 days later. Which I think, I think there's something really special about getting a song and then just like posting it. And
Hmm.
yeah, I have a new song that I'm sitting on and I'm feeling really guilty about it. But, it's really good it's just like the best feeling to write a song and then share it,
Hmm.
you know?
It'll come when it's cooked, I suppose. I'm noticing that when we started, we were there was sunlight, or at least we could see what was in the background, and now we've there like a spotlight has emerged just onto your piano because I guess the sun is setting. But thanks so much for taking this time to be here with me, us, and our virtual, um, I don't know, concert hall deck space until we can start gatherings again in bass. It's good to have your voice lead us along. Um, Before you play maybe a final song, would you tell us where we can go to hear your music or follow you for updates around iTunes song releases and the like?
So I have a song I released on iTunes and Spotify and all of the other things last week for the 4th of July. It's called Stars Out of My Eyes. So that you can find on Spotify, which is how I listen to music. So, um, and also iTunes and buy it. And you can buy it on Bandcamp for whatever you want to spend on it. And my To Hear Your Voice is also on Bandcamp, the version that I put out right away. Um, and um, and it's getting mastered. It probably might even be done by tonight. And I'm going to put it
Whoa.
on, again, version, um, yeah, to to next week. I'm so excited about it. Um, and Other than that, you can follow me on Facebook. I do have a music page, although most people seem to just be following my normal page. Haven't figured out how to work
Yeah, I
that
don't
out.
really know how that works either.
I just have to be normal and also a person who makes music,
Right.
and that's okay to me too. But I have a website, elanabrody.com. I'm doing this song circle every Thursday. We're meeting tomorrow at 8 o'clock on Zoom. Yeah, follow me on Facebook, and I should be doing more Facebook Live. I'll do a concert maybe again, maybe next week, because I do want to share my other new song soon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if tonight's the night,
Yeah, I hear you.
because I
Um,
have another good one.
yeah, well, it's, we're in your hands, Rebby, so
My
sing
clip
it.
is, I'm sad about the light though. Maybe I should turn on a light. Or you know what? It's actually perfect. It's perfect. Um, is this the moment to sing the last song?
I think so. I mean, or before we
Okay.
interrupt, you know?
So I this last song I'm feeling especially tickled and honored to share it here with you um, and your community, Ram, because I wrote this. Or it wrote itself. It's one of those songs. wrote this standing at a barbed wire fence in Birkenau. And I was, I was courageous to go on a trip with the Zen peacemakers who meditate in Birkenau for 5 days. And so I spent 5 full days there. And in the process of being there, I couldn't believe, some of the music that was coming through me, and also the music in Yiddish that was coming through me, which was a conversation we didn't have tonight. But
for part two,
yeah, I thought about it, but so I just, when I moved to New York City, I in 2016, I was very excited and curious to learn Yiddish, and I joined the Jewish People's Philharmonic Chorus with Benjamin Schechter, and took classes at the Workman's Circle. And so I had a little teeny tiny tad of Yiddish in my system at this point, by 2017 when I went to Poland. So the fact that this song came out, I just think is so cool. And here it is. It's called Stern and Shemaim, and it's really a prayer more than a song. So happy to connect to the souls that were lost in Europe, and the souls that were lost of the Jewish people. And this is a prayer, or kind of a one of those deep begging style prayers that there's the redemption that we all hope for in the loss, and that the loss is a rebirth, and a loss is actually a tikkun for our people, and a way for us to become brighter and deeper as a tribe here on the planet Earth. Here we go. Stern in Shemayim, Stern in Shemayim, Stern in Shemayim, sagt uns, ihr wirst werden wie die Sterne in Shemayim, wie Licht für alle Welt, wie Licht für alle Welt. Stern in Shemayim, Stern in Shemayim. Sagt uns, ihr werdet scheinen wie die Sterne in Shemayim. Wie Licht für alle Welt, wie Licht für alle Welt, und von die Asch und von die Tränen, und von die Feuer und von die Tränen.
Thanks, Elana.
Thank you for having me.
Till next time.